The first term and part of the second term, Kenyans were treated to a show of bromance from President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. Donning matching attire and running the country almost as co-presidents, President Kenyatta and Dr. Ruto seemed like a match made in heaven. The political bromance, however, fizzled after the 2017 elections, following the newfound political truce between President Kenyatta and ODM party leader Raila Odinga, marked by the famous March 9, 2018 handshake. What followed was a simmering tension between the erstwhile political friends, with Dr. Ruto complaining of being sidelined by his boss. The acrimony escalated into a public war of words. At the center of the verbal confrontations were succession politics, performance of the Jubilee government, and alleged betrayal from the both camps. Even attempts by the clergy to broker a truce between the two leaders hit a dead end. In a continued escalation of the bitter fallout between the political friends turned foes, President Kenyatta will urge voters not to be hoodwinked by sweet-talking politicians, but critically assess those seeking leadership positions in the August 9 polls. UDA leader William Ruto will waste no time responding, also reminding the president that he is occupying the seat of power courtesy of his support. He will ask his boss to stay away from his succession and let him battle it out with Odinga. Dr. Ruto will blame the association between President Kenyatta and Odinga for the missed opportunities to fill the pre-election pledges made by Jubilee. Going to the ballot on August 9, 2022, the outgoing Deputy President William Ruto was declared the winner with just over 50% of the votes after garnering 7.1 million votes, representing 50.49%, against Azimio counterpart Raila Amolo Odinga, who got 6.9 million votes, which translates to 48.85% of the vote. His senior President Kenyatta remaining silent as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition filed their petition contesting against the presidential results. President Kenyatta will then resurface in Mombasa County, where he met the elected Azimio leaders led by Mombasa Governor Abdulswamad Sharif Nassir. And moments after President-elect William Ruto's win was upheld by the Supreme Court, President Kenyatta came out posing a series of questions to Kenyans. Uhuru asked Kenyans to scrutinize the institutions involved in the election process by testing the truth as presented by the Constitution, as is their duty.
I also urge citizens to constantly put them under scrutiny, for this is the civic duty of every single Kenyan. In particular, this civic duty requires every citizen to constantly put the truth presented by our constitutional institutions to test. And they must test them for coherence, but also for correspondence. They must constantly scrutinize the coherence of the truth given by these institutions and to ask themselves whether the truth has been coherent from one election to another.
Uhuru challenged Kenyans to ask themselves whether the truth has been upheld from one election to another.
Has there been a consistent pattern that is acceptable to our democratic ethos? We must ask ourselves, is it about numbers or is it about process? Which of these two is it? And can our institutions rule one way in one election and another way in another election without scrutiny? I do invite you, Kenyans, to keep vigil, and indeed to hold all institutions.
The outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta failing to congratulate his outgoing Deputy William Ruto, who in his speech after the Apex Court ruling downplayed the rift between them, saying he will engage the head of state on matters transition.
I haven't talked to him in months. But shortly I will be putting a call to him so that we can have a conversation on the process of transition. Yeah. I know he worked hard in his in his own way, but the people of Kenya have made a decision. And we have absolutely no issue with the democratic choices of any Kenyan. You remember I said earlier, when I chose to support Uhuru Kenyatta, I did not give him conditions that he must support me. I have made that very clear.
The focus now turns to the preparations for the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect William Ruto and his Deputy-elect Rigathi Gachagua, which will be held at Kasarani Stadium on September 13th. Davis Mberia, Ebro News.